Vipi Jo, karibu sana. Hapa ni K24 alfajiri. Leo tunaangalia hustle lingine different. Na hapa tutakuwa tunazungumzia toka sasa tunazimiki saa zingine Kingoso kidogo, saa zingine Kiswahili. Juu huyu hustler mazee ni mtu ambaye amechange sana, especially mambo ya digital. Anaitwa Mark. Jina yako, your second name kinda
Mark Bichachi.
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 Karibu Mark. Welcome.
Thank you.
I don't know where should we start? Tuanzie let's start with what you do. Manake, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And how you started it, and the people you've met and the stuff you've done. So let's start with why digital?
Well,
now do guys understand what it's about?
Kitu kama miaka 4 ago, no one was really interested.
No.
Facebook was just a thing for the kids. Twitter was a thing that was struggling to catch up with Facebook.
Yeah.
MySpace was on its way out. And there was no... Okay? So those of us who used to spend a lot of time online, it was a hobby. So it was just fun. In fact, I remember my wife asking me, what is this you do? 11 o'clock at night, you're on this Facebook thing. What are you doing? But slowly by monitoring the trends and the sheer number of people who joined these networks, it became a business. Because the first thing any businessman knows is where people are, there's money. That's the first rule of business. As long as you're moving people, as long as people are seeing it, there's money. So we started preparing for it and starting to professionalize. How do you make it a business? Okay.
Absolutely.
So initially we approached a few people.
They thought you were crazy.
I was kicked out a number of times and told that's the stupidest idea we've ever had. But at the end of the day, some of those people who kicked us out called us back and said, "Can you do that for us?" So that's what happened. It was pretty interesting.
Let's talk about the business. How does it work exactly? Kama umesema hapo, which is very true. Pale kuna watu wengi where there's a lot of guys you'll find biashara. How does it work so much so that imekuwa sasa it's your business? You're actually earning money. Na pia umeandika watu job hapa watu wengi pia. So how does it become a business? Ambao unaweza ambia watu my name is Mark and I'm
an MD. Yeah. It's interesting because once you've got an audience, okay, there are a number of things you can do. You can entertain them, you can advertise to them, you can do public relations, or you can do reputation management. Okay, just the same way when TV showed up, you do advertising, you do your marketing, you do reputation management, you do your spins and things like that. So then what you do, unatafuta who needs those services, who needs to advertise. Now the little secret is this, that the advertising budget for normal media is way above the reach of most companies.
Yes.
Of most companies. Most companies can't afford it.
Very true.
But all companies can afford to be online.
True. Yes.
According to the budget, but they all can. 2, all personalities, okay, politicians, musicians, all celebrities can be online.
Yes.
At a fraction of the cost that it will cost you to be on TV, for example. And if you look at the example of Justin Bieber, right, this guy became a celebrity off of YouTube.
True.
Yeah. So that's the same thing. So if you can package that and sell it in a professional sense to the big boys who can afford to spend the money, then you've got a product.
Use me as an example. Nasiringi, musioni kama naringa. I have 51,000 plus followers on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay? Boss, how do I use those numbers to grow my show, to grow my brand as Jimmi Gathu?
Yes.
Because I was having this conversation na Charlie fulani ambaye alafu tukagongana kidogo, tuligongana sana lakini si ati na mata. Okay? But lakini nikiangalia following yake, he has the same numbers na mimi lakini ana jina kubwa digital. Lakini tuko pale in terms of the numbers that we have. So how do I use numbers zangu?
Yes.
Kuni grow?
Very, very important question. And the reason why a lot of personalities struggle with that is because it's social media. It's not just media by itself, but it's social media. That means society is involved.
Yes.
That means conversations are involved.
Yes.
That means that you need to get into the thinking of the person you're communicating to. Okay? So you can't be homogeneous in what you do, but you need to be a person. right? You know, on TV, you get to be a show. Okay, you're dressed up, you're made up, and you're a show. Okay, on social media, you've got to be a person they can relate to. That goes for all brands, whether it's a corporate or a person. You've got to be social.
But I thought the fact that I have 51,000 followers, which means kuna watu wanisikiza.
But you see, that's off of your celebrity. Okay, so you need to push it to make it effective, communicate to them, socialize with them. Right?
So who drives if the guys with the bigger numbers, see watu ambao wana drive social media.
Yes.
Nani ana drive social media kama namba zangu 51 nasema mazee, because wacha tu nikwambie ukweli, let me tell you the truth, So I was checking the trends.
Yes.
And there's some guys we are at par in terms of how many guys follow us.
Yes.
Lakini jina yangu haiko hapa.
Well, kitu inafanyika ni
I'm mourning, but yeah.
No, it's and you're right to mourn because it doesn't make sense. But I'll tell you this. You tweet 10 times a day.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
The average Kenyan girl between 19 and 24 does between 200 and 300 tweets.
So how much?
200 to 300 tweets in a day. Okay? So what you would take to do in a month, they do in a day. So these young people, the younger generation, are who drive social media.
And they don't have the numbers on Twitter?
Well, they don't have the followership, but they are the followers.
Oh.
You understand? They are the guys who follow you. So literally, in fact, social media is the most democratic of all places because they make you or break you.
True.
They make you or break you. In fact, I'll give you an example.
So it's those guys.
Yes.
Unafaa wabambe.
Yes. Those are the guys you need to capture. That's the attention you need to hold. Yeah. In fact, I'll give you an example. There's a lady the other day who went to, I won't say which brand, but went to a shop in town to buy cologne. Bought the cologne, got home, discovered it's fake. Put it on Facebook and had all her girlfriends complain. So whoever was managing their social media wrote back and said, who are you to tell us what an original cologne is? By the end of that day, based on the complaints that they had, they shut down their Facebook page and that lady got her refund back.
Are you serious?
Yes. So that's on a small scale. That's cologne. It's 3,000-4,000 shillings. So you can't ignore.
In a language that those two small guys
understand. Because they were not brought down by the guys who have 51,000 followers. No.
Oh yeah, with the guys with 4,000 plus followers. Yeah.
Yes. So you need to understand that it is a social setting. So it's not just media. Yes, there's media because you need to advertise yourself and push your brand and stuff like that. But the interaction between you two is the most important thing.
So there's a way to interact with those guys. Yes. So do I determine vile ndabonga na watu ama hao ndo nasema, for example, like now we Miss Kavile si uongea Swanglish. Not Sheng.
Yes,
Swanglish. Yeah. Yes. So obviously and this is purely based on research. So kuna watu specific na target.
Yeah.
So how do I know our 51 yao?
Yeah. I will use a term inatumia marketing sana. It's called brand positioning. Okay? So there are two ways. There are lots of people who are slaves to their audience. Just the same way a musician sings certain songs
because audience imesema.
Audience yake imesema. But if you now get a professional agency, we can place your brand. Okay? So study your market. Place your brand in that market so that you're also in your comfort zone as you interact with them. We don't want you wearing jeans, torn jeans, ukisema manzejo, nisaidie tafadhali.
Tunaongea na huyu boy anaitwa Mark, yeye ni jamaa wa digital. This guy amefanya a lot of fasts ambazo hamko mnajiona. You're about to find out. Tunachukua ka break kidogo tukirudi hapa kwa life ya hustler na Mark. Too many fasts ambazo zimempeleka mbele mpaka sasa karibu a hit essay. Hebu kaa usikie.